Welcome to the deep dive. So instead of you having to sift through tons of stuff, we've got this really thoughtful reflection from one of you. It's about their friend, Linda Graham, called The Heart of Gold, Linda Graham.
Uh,
And today, we're basically pulling out the key insights from it.
yeah, exactly.
Our mission really is to understand what makes this kind of deep connection so significant and, what lessons are in there for all of us about relationships and maybe our own growth.
hmm It's pretty amazing how one person's story, one reflection, can shine a light on these big universal ideas. We're kind of using this listener's bond with Linda as a lens, really,
A lens, yeah.
to look at human connection, the wisdom we get from people we really click with,
Mhm.
shared purpose, kindness, all that, and that heart of gold analogy. It's really potent.
It really is. Let's dig into that straight away. The heart of gold. So the reflection talks about gold being, enduring, radiant, always valuable.
Very stable.
Yeah. And it describes Linda as having this like unshakable love for humanity, almost like a life force itself. Oh, and it mentions her meditation practice as a way she accesses deeper understanding.
Which connects everything, really.
Yeah, clearly not just your average friendship here. The main takeaway seems to be that real value, like gold, it's in those lasting qualities,
Yeah.
unwavering love, inner radiance.
Precisely. And the text really emphasizes this deep resonance,
Yeah.
suggesting a connection that's way more than superficial. It mentions being on the same wavelength, sharing this deep, quiet understanding.
Hmm.
But what really jumps out is the idea of this like long-standing bond. It even hints at a shared history across, well, eternity and multiple cycles of existence. It really highlights that powerful recognition, that almost innate understanding you can have with certain people, kindred spirits.
That feeling of just knowing someone.
Right.
Amplified.
Yeah, exactly. To a cosmic level, almost.
Yeah, it is. So then the reflection talks about walking a shared path, self-discovery, finding this cosmic rhythm. But it also stresses that each person's journey is unique. How do those two ideas fit together? Shared path, but unique journey.
That's a great question. If you think about the big picture, it suggests they agree on the important stuff, core values, where they're headed, a shared direction.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
the specific way each person walks that path, the challenges they face, the insights they gain,
Yeah.
that's totally individual, their own unfolding.
So it's like heading to the same destination, but taking slightly different routes, maybe?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And the insight here is find that alignment in values, but also really celebrate and learn from how differently people experience life. And here's the really crucial bit.
Mm-hmm.
These journeys, aligned yet individual, they actually fuel kindness and compassion.
Right.
The text calls it the essence of transformation, the most potent force for evolution even.
That elevates kindness way beyond just being nice, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It makes it fundamental, a driver of real progress, real growth.
That is a powerful reframe. Okay, so not just pleasant extras, but core drivers. Then the reflection brings up seeing in color, moving past black and white thinking. What's that about in, practical terms?
Yeah, that's important. It's about how we perceive things. Black and white thinking is often rigid, right? Things are either good, bad, estim, very dualistic.
Mm-hmm. Separation.
Exactly. Seeing in color, though, that suggests a richer, more nuanced view, recognizing how things connect, the whole spectrum of possibilities.
Okay, I see.
And the text links meditation to this shift. The idea being that by quieting the mind, you become aware of more subtle things, these energetic patterns. You start to see the unity that kindness and compassion represent.
Energetic patterns,
Yeah,
like the subtle ways we affect each other.
That's a good way to think about it, yeah. Our emotions, our actions, how they ripple out. And crucially, the reflection says we have free choice.
Hmm.
In any moment, we can choose to see things this more harmonious way.
So it's an active choice. Shift from black and white, embrace the nuance, the connections that unlocks compassion.
That's the idea. Look beyond the surface stuff, the divisions, and see the underlying unity.
Which leads right into this other idea that true wealth isn't money or things, but it's inside, in the heart, this boundless well of kindness and compassion. It even calls enemies temporary distortions of unity. That's a really radical way to view conflict.
It is radical. It's a huge shift in perspective. If you focus on your inner capacity for kindness, external stuff just matters less, defines you less.
Right.
And thinking of enemies as temporary distortions, that points to a really deep belief in interconnectedness, that even people we clash with are part of the same whole, just temporarily out of sync, maybe. And if you see it that way, it naturally leads to giving kindness and compassion freely without discriminating. even towards those enemies.
Completely flips the usual script, doesn't it?
It really does.
Okay, then there's this analogy. Life is a video game. Challenges are curveballs, opportunities to grow.
Yeah, I like that part.
How does Linda fit into this game for the listener who wrote the reflection?
Well, the video game analogy makes it relatable, right? We all face challenges, get thrown curveballs. The text suggests that responding with kindness and compassion, that's like finding the cheat code. It helps you progress.
Okay. A cheat code for life.
Sort of. It's
Yeah.
not about avoiding the hard stuff, but how you choose to handle it. And Linda, in this game, she's like a guide, someone helping the listener play with more awareness, more skill, more joy and wisdom, it says.
That really shows how vital supportive relationships are for growth, doesn't it?
Absolutely invaluable.
And it mentions Linda's commitment over 35 years studying with someone named Mafu. That's seen as a likely source of her wisdom.
Long-term dedication.
It suggests these connections are like expressions of a universal love guiding us. For those of us who don't know, can you say a bit about Mafu or why that long study is significant?
Well, without knowing the specifics of Mafu, we can infer it represents a dedicated spiritual path or teaching for Linda. 35 years. That kind of long-term commitment to any practice, any teacher, it inevitably deepens understanding, cultivates qualities like compassion.
Sure, makes sense.
And that inner work then just naturally flows out into her interactions. It shows how our own efforts can really positively impact others.
So her dedication benefits not just her, but people like the listener.
Exactly. And that idea that these connections are expressions of the universal one's boundless love, maybe that's just a way of saying there's this inherent potential for connection and compassion in all of us.
A deeper meaning to our relationships.
Yeah, it adds that layer.
It feels like everything circles back to kindness and compassion, not just being nice ideas, but something way more fundamental.
Right.
The reflection even calls them the strongest, most transformative forces in the universe. I mean, that's a huge statement.
It is a huge statement.
Yeah.
But if you think about the interconnectedness we've been talking about, it starts to make a kind of sense, doesn't it? Actions based on kindness, on compassion,
Yeah.
they create positive ripples, they build harmony, understanding, they literally change things.
They shape reality.
Maybe on some fundamental level, yeah. Zoran's quote sums it up so well. The universe whispers its deepest truths, not just through stars, but through the quiet resonance between two souls.
And the wisdom they share is the echo of eternity. Wow.
Yeah, it really highlights the profound wisdom hiding in these deep human connections.
Okay, so pulling it all together, this deep dive into the listener's reflection shows us these connections, like the one with Linda, are incredibly nourishing. They give support, understanding. They shine a light on how powerful kindness and compassion truly are, help us shift how we see things, see the connections, and they guide us on our own paths.
Absolutely, and to help you, the listener, take this further, there's something practical mentioned. A dragon trial attributed to Linda Graham.
Okay, a dragon trial.
Yeah, sounds intense, but it's really an exercise in awareness. For one day, consciously observe your interactions with someone you feel deeply connected to.
Okay.
Notice how being around them, interacting with them, affects your state of mind, your perceptions. How easy or hard is it to choose compassionate responses when you're with them or thinking of them?
I see. Observe the effect they have.
Yeah. And consider, how might this person be a kind of guide for you in your own video game of life? What can you learn from their approach?
That's a really practical way to apply these ideas. A powerful exercise.
It is.
It's a good reminder, isn't it, that these quiet connections, the seemingly everyday relationships, can actually hold immense wisdom, powerful insights into reality, into our own potential. Definitely gives you something to think about.
For sure. Lots to reflect on there.